All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. All right, so obviously it's the weekend, so the market is closed, but crypto did bounce back. Remember, last week we did fall to 60K, and then we were range bounding from that 60K to 65. And if you were on crypto Twitter, you saw that a lot of people thought we were going to 55, 50, but we rebounded pretty good right now as we speak. Let's check the price of BTC. 71,130. So we bounced back pretty nicely. And this was expected. There was a CME gap last weekend that we needed to fill on the upside to 84. So a lot of people were predicting that, okay, all the CME gaps that are lower, like usually when it's like the price is up high and the CME gap is low, we typically fill those CME gaps. So it was only it only makes sense that since the CME gap is higher, we're going to fill that as well. The market is not biased in that sense, where we need to fill. Usually, we fill CME gaps on the up or on the down or upside. So we have one at 84. So it looks like this rebound is kind of filling in that CME. Hopefully, we go a little bit higher. And we've seen altcoins bounce back up as well, 10 to 15%. So, especially like I've noticed the AI coins have bounced back significantly. And this is a good sign too. I think this is a good thing to pay attention to, especially when the market dips so drastically like we had last week, is to pay attention to projects that don't dip as much or hold pretty well. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of projects out there, but hopefully you narrowed it down to, if you're in the crypto space, this is speaking to crypto investors. If you're in the crypto space, a good tell sign of projects that are going to bounce back are projects that hold the dip really well and are usually the first ones to bounce back. And what I've seen is a lot of the AI plays are the ones that held really well and bounced back pretty nicely. So it just tells you that the AI sector, in my opinion, is going to be strong when things start to actually move on up and start to bounce back. I think that's one sector that's going to do really well. And then obviously you have privacy that has taken off last year. I think that's going to continue to do well. Not most of the projects. You see a lot of these projects try to add privacy now or try to add some feature, but they don't really, because when I first initially got into crypto, those were some of the first coins I got in. I got into Zcoin, which later rebranded to Firo, and I was involved in the Discord, the team meetings, and those privacy projects, they put in a lot of work as far as coding and really coming up with ideas to make privacy the key feature for their crypto project. So just because a project comes out and says, oh, we're throwing privacy in our name or we're adding this little privacy feature, it's not that easy. People think they could just code in a privacy feature and that's it. Now, these solid blue chip privacy projects, they actually, it's been years. A lot of them came out when Bitcoin first came out. If you look at the OG privacy projects like Zcash, Dash, Zcoin, which again rebranded to Firo, Monero, these all came out literally close to, I think it was probably like 2015, 2016. So they have been around for a while and their community's strong. They have good developers and things like that. So you really got to pay attention to the team. That's really important for crypto. A lot of people just follow what others say on crypto Twitter and then they just end up buying everything. Any project that I've gotten into, I've always gotten involved with what the team is doing, looking at their roadmap, and they say, okay, we're going to get this done by this date, this date. Do they end up getting things done? Is the key thing. Let me check my mic just to make sure it's working. Let me check my mic really quick. Give me just a sec. team is doing, looking at their roadmap, and they say, okay, we're going to get this done by this date. Yeah, so you really want to be paying attention to what the team is doing. Are they getting done what they said they're going to get done? Okay, and this is very important. So people investing in meme coins, there's really no fundamental value there. There's really no utility. So that's one of the things you want to pay attention to. You want to be in the Discord. You want to be in GitHub to make sure coding is being pushed. Now, I must say they don't really keep like a lot of the important coding. They keep off of GitHub. They make it public after they make a lot of progress outside of GitHub. Because the thing is, there's a lot of people and there's a lot of AI agents that can scan GitHub, and if they're putting the coding for an important release out there, it could give away alpha, and people trade the coin and pump it up and things like that. So they try to keep it off, but still, you can still see milestone dates. But most good projects have a good roadmap. They say, okay, this year we want to do this, and here's a timeline in which we believe that we think is going to get done. And again, being in the space since 2017, probably late 2016, these developers, they're usually 2 to 3 months off. But if you start to see a project that they're missing dates by 7-8 months or pushing things back a year, that's the time to start reconsidering that project. And the only way you can really be sure is to be in the Discord. Like, are they missing it because they're actually putting the work in and they just need extra time, or is really anything getting done? And that's more of being able to tell. Like, again, you're not seeing these people in person. These people, okay, hold on. Hopefully this is not choppy. Okay, I think it's good now. Yeah, these people, you're not seeing these people in person, right? You never met these people. It's online. So you really have to go off of feeling and intuition. But I think if you're in the Discord long enough, you can see if things are getting done. Okay, in my opinion, it's very clear. You see a roadmap. You see activity in the Discord. That's a big sign. Like, if their Discord it has no activity and nobody's really talking about anything, or they don't have any group meetings where they're giving project updates, that's a red flag as well. So yeah, but I go back to the crash this last week to 60K. We're already bounced back to 71, and there's a lot of altcoin projects that have bounce back, and I think the ones that bounce back the strongest are the ones to pay attention to. Okay, so what can we expect this week from the market? So here's a comprehensive market outlook for this week, February 9th through February 13th, covering economic data, stocks, corporate events, crypto, macro themes that can influence asset prices. So first sector is the economic data and Fed focus. Major macro releases this week, all U.S. data unless noted otherwise. So it says Wednesday, February 11th, January, non-farm payrolls are coming out. Delayed from last week, modest job growth expected, unemployment steady near multi-year highs. And again, remember, the Fed has two mandates. The Fed has a mandate to keep inflation low and then also to create job stability. Okay? So right now, the numbers for employment look like they're going up. So last year they made that pivot to put job stability as their number one focus. They're still looking at inflation, but they're saying, hey, we want to focus on job growth and job stability. So that's going to be an important economic data that comes out February 11th, that January non-farm payrolls. Friday, February 13th, Consumer Price Index. Remember, Consumer Price Index and Producer Price Index come out every month. And so the CPI is inflation data that can move markets and influence expectations for future Fed policy. So that's going to be the inflation piece. Now, again, I think that Wednesday number is going to be a lot more important just because the switch of the Fed. The Fed wants to now focus on job stability more. Other notable U.S. data: December retail sales is coming out. Employment cost index, which I haven't heard of, but I'm pretty sure it's there. Foreign trade prices and business inventories. Fed speakers throughout the week could provide fresh policy signals, and I'm not sure who's scheduled to speak this week. I don't think it's Jerome Powell, but maybe it's somebody else from the Fed that's going to speak. Now, global data to watch out for. It says China inflation figures. Now, these are probably less, not as important, but a lot of stuff overseas affects what we do as far as a country here. So it is important to kind of look at these, or just be aware that these numbers come out. And if something happens with the market price, these numbers like China inflation, UK GDP and labor stats, Eurozone inflation, GDP, Japan producer price wage data, especially like the Japan. So the Japan stuff lately has been, shaking the markets. These releases are critical because the market wants clarity on inflation persistent and labor strength, which drive rate expectations. Yeah, we do business with other countries, so it's important to keep, you maybe not keep a close eye on this data, but just know that it's there. And if the market acts like dips, this could potentially be the reason why. Okay. So the next piece is U.S. stocks and earnings. Recent context. U.S. stocks rallied sharply last week with the Dow closing above 50,000, a broad gain across the S&P and NASDAQ. Tech AI related momentum helped drive the rebound. And again, like I said, in the crypto space, we saw that AI coins bounced pretty good last week once Bitcoin found like a bottom. And hopefully it's the bottom. Hopefully that was the end of the crash down to 60,000. I think so. In my opinion, the crash to 60,000 was a gift because there's just so many institutional people buying up BTC that, I mean, it was a gift at 60,000. And I know some people don't see it that way because 4 or 5 years ago, you could have bought it for, 1,000 or 3,000. But when you think about an asset that's people are projecting to go to 1 million, I think 60,000 is a good buy, in my opinion, right? So earnings this week, sector mix includes tech and semiconductors. So it says Cisco, Applied Materials, Arista Networks, and then you have the consumer staples and travel. So it looks like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Marriott, Airbnb will be reporting this week. Those are important as well. Remember, we always talk about why earnings is important. It's not just important for the company that's reporting earnings. Obviously, it's important for them, but if, like, for instance, consumer staples and travel, if we see Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Marriott, and Airbnb, these blue chip consumer companies go down in earnings, it could be a telling sign for, like, okay, maybe consumer spending is lightening up and lightening up, and maybe people don't want to spend right now. Maybe people don't want to go on vacation and use it Airbnb, or maybe people stop going to McDonald's. So this is important too, because it also gives an indication of where we are with the economy. Healthcare and pharma, looks like Vertex, Moderna, and then I think that's G-Lead is going to be reporting. Oh, and then we have some crypto related stocks. So this is good as well. Coinbase and Robinhood look like they're reporting this week as well. And that's going to be very key, in my opinion, because these companies, I think Coinbase holds a lot of BTC. I'm not sure about Robinhood. I know the CEO had talked about adding BTC to the balance sheet, but I don't know if they did that yet. But still, their revenue is based off of, crypto trading. Not all of it, but Robinhood did add a significant amount of crypto assets to their platform. So they're making money off the fees that they get from trading. So, and then Coinbase, Coinbase holds a lot of BTC and then also a lot of crypto trading as well. Those things are very important to pay attention to because that can have an effect on crypto, okay? Because it can tell you, okay, are people interested in trading the asset right now or not? Okay, what else? Key themes to watch. All right, so we covered that. Yeah, so that looks like pretty much it, right? We have some companies reporting earnings. We have a few pieces of economic data coming out, and then we just have to pay attention to price. Are we going to continue the bounce that we got towards the end of last week and this weekend? And are we going to, continue the move up to fill in that CME gap? I believe it's around 84,000. So we'll see, right? But yeah, that's the recap. Let's play about two to three games of Blitz, and that'll be it for the day. And I went down significantly. So right now I'm at 1281. I mean, if you guys remember, I was like at 13. I was at, let's see, hopefully let's get this to slow down. Okay, yeah, if you guys remember, I was at, close to 1400, and I did pass 1400, at one point, but then it just went down. It's tricky, but I'm trying to just stay over 1300. I'm not trying to, I mean, obviously I'm below that right now, but I'm not trying to go too far from the high 1200s, because then I feel like I could get back into the 1300s pretty quickly and then move on up to the 1400s. So, all right, let's get started. Her. Let's see. Should I do this? There we go. There we go. I don't know if you saw that. Ooh, that was a free pawn, no? I think it's still a free pawn. I think that's a free pawn too, no? Free pawn city. And then I'm just going to keep pushing these pawns up here. Maybe I should throw back this... Let's do that. Keep pushing it up. These pawns are strong through the center, I must say. Let's see. Let's move this here. Yeah, these pawns are very strong. Okay, so let's see. If I move this up, I think I'm fine, no? You know what? I think I can. I think I'll be fine. Oh no, I think I jacked that up. I think I jacked that up. All right, let's do this. Yeah, I jacked that up, unfortunately. But I think I could get him back, depending on what we do here. There we go. Oh, he got me with that one. I think I'll be fine, though, if I take that. I feel like I still got this. I feel like I still got it. It's getting tricky, though. Let's see. I think I'm good now. Yeah, I think I'm really good. All right, I think we got it back. I jacked that out. It was so strong, those pawns in the middle, and then I think everything's good. There we go. Boom. He has to take right there, and I got it. All right, cool. Yup. Got the W. All right, that was a good game. I knew I felt it. I knew I was going to get him caught up with that. Let's do this. Boom. I feel like I play this line a decent amount of times. All right, hold on. Don't. All right, cool. I just hate when that thing gets freezy. Okay, I think we're good here. Just want to move faster. Let's go. Let's throw this. There we go. Give me that. I think I'm good. Wow, I can't believe I didn't see that. Wow, I was blind. My goodness. And then he takes that. But I'll take that. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. We'll see if I can pull it off. I doubt it, but yeah. Now it's just over. But let's see if we can play this to the end here. Oof. Can I get the W? Is this possible? This might be possible. If I get the W on this, this is going to be crazy. Oh, wow. He sacrificed the queen. He had to. He had to sacrifice the queen. There we go. All right, I lost this one. I'm going to resign. See if he wants to run it back. See if he wants to run it back. That was my fault right there. All right, this is the last one. Promise. Well, I think this is the third game, so I think it's all good. Let's see. Boom. I think we're good with that. He's going to go there. So let's see. I have to be careful. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see what he's trying to do there. Let me just try to get this out of there. I see what he's trying to do. I see that too. Should be fine. I think I should be fine, to be honest. But can I block that somehow? Yeah, I'm just gonna have to take, unfortunately. And I'll let him take. I'll let him take that. That's fine. I'm not mad about that. All right, can I get this? This dub. Let's see. All right, what I'll do is this. Do that. Do that. Yeah, like right now. Oh my goodness. I just don't see it. Yeah, I should have made that decision quicker. Oof, I got 10 seconds. Oof. Can I get him? I may be able to. I may be able to. Yep. Darn it. Darn it. I just sacrificed. Darn it. Thought I had it. Let me see if. All right. That's it. I'm not going to play another one. Decent. So I ended up 8 points. I lost 2. I won 1. I wonder what I could have done there. If I had more time, I would have thought about it way better. See, he did that. He didn't see that fork right there. Boom. He didn't see that fork. Got him with that. So I think that was good, taking that. And then he double tapped there. Maybe what I needed to do was this. And then he would have either went there. If he did that. Yeah, maybe I could have, like, drew it out or something. Or flagged him. I don't know. All right. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So yeah, we bounced back with crypto. We're at 71,000. The market is looking a little bit more stable. Hopefully this week is a continuation of that bounce. And there are some really good catalysts. Again, we still have the crypto legislation that is supposed to be passed this year, or not this year, in the next few months. Well, this year, but soon. And that should give crypto a good catalyst to bounce back, but we'll see. And then obviously people are still watching out for interest rate cuts. That's a big thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and take care.